these were some of the configurations. I'm having a hard time locating the ones that were collided, but I will find them. They're here somewhere. You can see the difference between the expression of these pieces, right? Of these three, which of the three do you think looks most interesting?
The third one.
The third one, right? So try to remember that. Try to remember, why is it that this one looks more interesting than this one? And it's because you can clearly see all of the edges of the box, or most all the edges of the box. This one might as well be one piece. It might as well be one thing. You can't tell. This one is slightly offset, okay? You can tell a little bit, but not very much. And this one, you can see clearly. And then when you collide them, you end up with an even greater expression, okay, of sort of interest and visual complexity. One of the things that I want you guys to understand that I'm not positive is clear in that last presentation was that it's adjacent coplanar faces, okay? These two faces are adjacent to each other, right? And they are coplanar. If that is a very different thing than doing something like this. Okay? All of these faces and all of these faces and all of these faces are all coplanar, but they're not adjacent. Okay? And so the biggest detriment to sort of the visual interest of an aggregation is when you just basically take two things and make it to where they have adjacent coplanar faces. Okay? Any questions about that? One other thing that I want you guys to understand is that one of the things that you guys are supposed to be learning, all right, you were supposed to learn it in the first project, and you're going to definitely be expressing it in the second one, is the idea of exact repetition. Okay? The idea of the development of an exact repetitive cadence. And so many people immediately equate the idea of repetition with boring. They think of a big giant box with repetitive windows in it. Okay? That is not the same thing, okay, that you have in the exact repetition of these two elements. Okay? That is not what you have in the exact repetition of all of these windows. So please do not confuse monotonous things, right, or monotonous buildings or architecture, right, with repetition. Repetition can be very, very, very striking. Did you guys get a reading assignment the other day? No? You will. And one of the buildings that you're going to be looking at is going to be Habitat for, it's called Habitat, I think it's 62 or 67, something like that. You're going to get another reading on the Lloyd's of London building. Okay? Those have extensive amounts of repetition, exact repetition, and yet they're far from boring. Okay? So any questions about that? No? Let's go ahead and turn that off.